So lavender is probably the essential oil that you guys are most familiar with, at least in the ones I'm going to talk about. But everybody associates it with sleeping, right? So lavender is good for sleeping. There's so many other things that lavender is good for sleeping, but there's so many other things that lavender is great for. Every time we get a cut or a boo-boo in our house, we put lavender, a drop of lavender on a Band-Aid or put it directly on the cut. It's antiseptic. It's great for allergies as well. So my husband usually takes allergy medicine pretty much 5-6 months of the year. And with lavender, when he comes in for mowing, he just makes raccoon eyes around his eyes and down his nose and under his nose. And when they're really bad, he'll take a spoon with honey and some lemon and take it internally. He has not yet taken an allergy pill this year, which is the first time that has happened for us. So it's pretty exciting. And honestly, he really hasn't had any problems since he took it internally for a couple of days, and he hasn't had any allergy concerns since. So that's another great thing about the oils. Instead of covering up the problem, they can actually fix a lot of the things that might ail you. They might fix the things that ail you. And so another one too, burns. I have seen this, I have done it. So you know how you take a pan out of the oven and you set it on your stove, like a pan that you usually, like a skillet, set it on your stove and then you forget that it was an oven and you grab the handle. Who's done that? I've done that, yeah. Okay, so I did that and so I went and put some lavender on it right away. Usually it hurts for several days, you know, just like a little bit, not blister, but it's red and kind of hurts. The skin gets really tight. And put some lavender on it. The next day I didn't even notice that had happened, which is really, really awesome. Sleep, you can just put it on your pillow too, or you can diffuse it in the room. There's a whole class about ADD, ADHD, autism that we can figure out when that next class is and get you to it if that's something you want. Lavender is one of those that's great for that. And in lab studies, it's actually preventing cancer in rats. They haven't done any studies on humans yet, but in lab studies, lavender, if you think this lavender that's in all the synthetic lavender that's in all the shampoos, everybody knows that it's really good for you, but they're not using the right kind of lavender. But the right kind of lavender is pretty amazing. Does anybody have any lavender stories? Wow. Yeah.
I have a lot, but one of them, this little guy right here, we were in vacation Bible school a couple years ago, and he was running and he fell, and the table hit his nose, and right away his eyes turned black and blood started coming out of his nose, and we thought he broke it. I called home, told my husband to get an ice pack ready. He was asking for his oils. We did frankincense and lavender, pan away for pain, and then peace and calming and just kind of calm him down. And literally I lived 5 minutes from there, and when I got home, we got out of the car and my husband said, "What's the big deal?" And Isaac turned around, his nose was not swollen anymore. The black in his eyes, it was still there, but very minimal. The next day he went back to church, and the only sign of anything was a tiny little cut on his lip. And everyone was just like,
yeah. Yep. That's a great example. And the really good thing that you did with that too is you got it on it right away. So as soon as the injury happens, run to your oils and get them on there before the inflammation starts, because that's how it's going to be most effective. So